Now, I want to get your take on the latest here, and I want to start with the Trump administration's handling of this war, because when you have a U.S. president that gets on social media and declares that everyone should immediately evacuate a city of 10 million people, that's a little bit concerning, not even to mention what Trump said after that when he literally told reporters that he does not care about the testimony from his own Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who said that the U.S. has no evidence that Iran is building a nuclear weapon. So what does that tell you about where Trump stands, and what are your concerns for how soon the U.S. is going to get even more directly, officially involved in this war on Iran?
As far as I'm concerned, we're already directly, officially involved. Remember the president bragging about setting Iran up, lulling them into a false sense of complacency. There were going to be negotiations on Sunday, this past Sunday. These were the serious negotiations. This was it. Time to get it out, and the Iranians were preparing for it. Their lead negotiator, Sham Khan, he actually had done an interview in the lead up to this, saying, "We're ready. We are ready right now to sign a treaty that says no nuclear weapons. We are ready to subject ourselves to inspections to cap our enrichment levels at 3.75% needed for the nuclear fuel. We're ready to do this right now." That's what they were ready to put on the table on Sunday. And Trump greenlit an Israeli surprise attack and then bragged about it. Bragged about the Iranians who were negotiators were now dead. Dead. This isn't a game. This isn't an academic exercise. The Iranian negotiator who was taking everything we were saying at face value, working with his government to come up with a solution to avoid war, was assassinated by the Israelis with the approval of Donald Trump, who then bragged about it. So we're already at war. This is our war. We're just using Israel as a proxy. The problem for Donald Trump is the war is not going well. We are now looking at a situation where Israel is losing this war and will lose this war. And they desperately need the United States to intervene to pull the chestnuts out of the fire, so to speak, for them. It is deeply disturbing that the Director of National Intelligence, who is responsible for providing the presidential daily brief, remember that Tulsi Gabbard is responsible for briefing the president on the intelligence situation that exists in the world today. She testified for Congress as part of the national threat assessment that Iran had not made a political decision regarding nuclear weapons. It was still, the Iranian decision was they do not want nuclear weapons, they're not seeking nuclear weapons, and that the data supports that Iran is not pursuing a nuclear weapons program. This is the official assessment of the United States intelligence community. It just happens to go against the overly politicized intelligence coming out of Israel. I want to remind people that Israel, helped create the fiction of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. When I was working with the United Nations, Israel was, trying to create the perception of an ongoing Iraqi nuclear weapons program, manufacturing data. I had in my possession, their assessment. The FBI seized it when they came in my house, but the assessment that's basically prove that they just make stuff up. And that's happening today. And the President of the United States, when he says, I don't care what Tulsi says, what he's saying is, I don't care what the U.S. intelligence community says. So where is he getting his intelligence? Who's briefing the president? Israel. So we have been, the president has totally subordinated the most critical decision-making aspects of the chief executive, the commander-in-chief, to a foreign nation.
When it comes to the U.S. and the position that they're in, it's no secret that the U.S. establishment has wanted war with Iran for a long time. I think of General Wesley Clark's now viral comments on it, saying that the post 9/11 strategy was, we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years. That was supposed to start with Iraq and end with Iran. And now you have the Pentagon rerouting assets to the Middle East, increasing the U.S. military presence in the region. And I look at this and I go, okay, but the U.S. is already losing a proxy war against Russia. We know that they want to get their hands on war with China in some form. How do you view the position that the U.S. is in going into this knowing that they are not going to win a war against Iran? And to take that further, if Iran moves to close the Strait of Hormuz or moves to target U.S. military bases in the region, this could become very costly for the U.S. as a whole, and specifically for Mr. Donald Trump.
Yeah, I think we are looking at the end of the Trump presidency in terms of credibility. Much of his base voted for him because of his contention that he was a peace president. I mean, the hypocrisy of this man, just the bald-faced hypocrisy of a man who posts, getting in a war in the Middle East is the worst mistake, trillions of dollars wasted, thousands alive, Obama's a horrible man, contemplating war with Iran, da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, he made that his thing. Turns out he lusts for war with Iran, and he has always lusted for war with Iran, that everything he said was an absolute lie.